Welcome to The Health Code.
This is our podcast where we chat about all things health, fitness, career, relationships, and lifestyle.
It's kind of like your weekly catch-up with the girls. And the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
Do you think it's weird that we're both in black again? I always wear white, and it's just like whenever we record a podcast, I just think I'm gangster.
Can I mention as well, I'm very sweaty right now. It's like hot in this room already. And I feel like if we sit here for an hour, I'm just going to melt under this light.
All your makeup's going to come off.
Yeah, well, oh no.
Should we put the aircon on?
No, it's too late now.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, welcome back.
We always wanted a sauna in the house.
That's true. That's true.
Just get studio lights.
Talking about saunas, in our new house, I haven't actually... Hang on. Welcome back to the Health Code podcast, everyone.
Whether you are listening on a podcast platform or you're watching us on YouTube.
Yay!
You guys loved the first official YouTube episode of the Health Code, so we're going to be sure to keep filming them for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the sauna thing now because I introed it and then I wanted to talk about something. Anyway, we're currently renovating a house. You all know this, all right? Go watch our Reno series on YouTube. It's on Sarah's channel. Sarah wants a Pilates room.
I'm getting a Pilates room.
Yeah, there
I
you
don't
go.
want one. It's happening.
But she wants it to be like a particular style of Pilates room. Yeah, look at you, Miss Pot. So she always like rips on me for being like, what do you call me?
Snob.
A snob.
No.
You always rip on me for being a snob. I am not a snob. I'm not a snob.
Okay, rewind. You called yourself a snob in the last episode.
I'm a flight snob. That is different.
Yeah.
In life, I'm chill, man. I'm chill.
No.
Yeah, 100%.
You're a snob with flights, coffee.
Yeah, everyone's a snob with coffee. If you're not, you're an idiot.
No, like everything. Car parks, like you only want to park where you want to park.
What do you mean?
It annoys me. I hate
Anyway, talking about snobs. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to shut you off right there.
I'm not going to argue with you. Not in front of the children.
Okay. Talking about snobbery, Sarah wants a hot Pilates room, which means we have to go out and buy specific... No, I can't just go out and buy a heater. We already have air conditioning in the room. I'm like...
I don't want aircon. I want infrared sauna.
Are you kidding?
Do you know why? Because it's like when you accidentally go business class on a flight. Once you go
no one goes accidentally business class.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. When you buy business and you're like YOLO. When you YOLO business class, you can never go back. So I did a hot Pilates class a few weeks ago, and I literally went up to the trainer, Simone, and I go to the Loft Pilates and Bar, and I was like, Simone, that was amazing. It was amazing because the thing is, I always liked hot yoga, like Bikram kind of yoga, but to be honest, I don't really love yoga. I liked the hot room. So I kind of wanted to be like, I wish I was in this room doing my own thing. So then when I found hot Pilates, I was like, this is the workout I have been waiting for. No, you shake your head now.
I shake my head.
Wait, you wait till you come in my Pilates room with my hot infrared panels. Mate, you'll go, don't tell anyone, but I'm so glad.
Well, I'm sorry, Brent. I'm going to throw you in the deep end. Brent's our electrician and he's like one of my good friends as well. And we were talking about this on site the other day. And we're talking about how you wanted these infrared panels. And he's like, it's such a G up, man. These panels, he's like, they just produce heat. Like, who cares?
No.
But his missus is the same. She agrees with you. She thinks it's a different kind of heat.
It's infrared wave.
Please.
Anyway, when it's done, you come to me. You're going to love it.
So you're now a heat snob.
No,
Yes. I've
just done it once and I like it.
So in our new house, we're going to have a hot Pilates room with infrared panels, heat panels.
Well, you're not, this attitude, you're not allowed in now. No. You want to play this game? Okay, here we go. Last episode, no, I put on a brave face. My heart was shattered.
What about?
Everything.
What?
The weekly wrap was a bully section.
No,
so
it wasn't.
Wait. Before we get into the weekly wrap, if you are just listening to this podcast now, the title or the theme of this podcast is still going to be based around like quarantine and isolation because #everyone's life right now.
Yeah.
But it's more going to be like us updating you on how we're going, and it's going to be more about like screen time and what things we're doing, what you can do, mental health checks, and just like how to stay sane during this time. So stay tuned for that. But I'm about to rip into Kurt. Let's get into the weekly wrap.
The weekly wrap.
Yeah. Okay. like I said, if you listen to last episode, it was an absolute war against the Sesmeister, aka
Says dog.
me. and I just copped it on the chin. I let it happen. I laughed. Ha ha ha, laugh. Let's all laugh at Sarah. No, this is all about you being rude.
What?
Yeah, you're rude.
I'm not rude.
You are.
I am not
okay,
rude.
so
Oh,
what
here
I
we
mean
go.
by rude is like you're too comfortable with me now. And I feel like there's stages.
That's what happens. That's what happens in a relationship.
Yeah, just like that. I feel like there's stages of a relationship, okay? There's like the honeymoon phase where, you know, you've just started dating and you get nervous, you get butterflies and, oh, I'm going to cook him dinner and, oh, so nice. And then there's that stage where you get more comfortable and you're like, hey, I cooked dinner last night. Do you mind cooking dinner? You know, you kind of test the boundaries, test the waters. Then there's this stage where you're like too comfortable that you're just like rude.
Oh,
okay?
come on.
So the other day, oh, I have so many things.
But all the time. Okay, you tell your story first.
This is what I mean. I let you have your piece in the last weekly wrap. It's my turn.
Okay, go.
I love that, you know, not only are we like partners and fiancés, you're my best
Can you move
friend.
your feet?
See?
I'm joking.
No, you're not.
I was doing it
I know
because you're
you're
telling
not.
this story. Yeah, go on.
No,
go
I
on.
know you're not.
Go on.
No, I don't even want to tell this story. You're frustrated. This quarantine is making me like go crazy. But anyway, you're rude. So I love that we're best friends and like we can be real with each other. And if we're annoyed, we're really open. Kurt and I, we have really good communication, possibly too good communication.
Yeah.
We just communicate too much.
Yeah.
But the other day we were in the car and I said something like, oh, we should do a wall like that in our new house. Kurt? That's what he said back to me. Okay, so let me just replay that again. We were in the car. I'm in the passenger seat. Hey, Kurt, we should do a wall like that. Kurt? This is Kurt. And then it gets worse. And then I said, pardon? And he repeated.
You're getting the
No,
noise
wait.
wrong. It's more like this.
Yeah, okay. So I was like, what do you mean? And then he just kept doing it. And I said, are you going to respond to me? And he goes, I didn't hear what you said. I'm like, okay. So normally in life, if you don't hear what someone says, you say, excuse me, or pardon, I didn't hear you. Instead of looking at me and going,
I don't know why it happened.
You do it to me all the time.
Yeah, look, does anyone else have like weird tendencies like that? When your partner says something, or like you just feel like messing with them a little bit, and you just do stupid things and just see
that's
what
a
a
button
reaction
of
you
mine.
can get.
You know that sound when I'm like, Kurt, do you want a coffee? Is that a yes? I didn't hear what you said. then say pardon. Don't say.
I don't know why I do it. I just want a reaction out of you.
Yeah. Well, from now on, I'm not going to react. I'm going to take that.
Don't do that. There's no fun in that.
I'm going to take that as, excuse me, and I'll just repeat it, and it'll just be this continuous cycle. I already know it.
Oh,
but
my goodness.
you've gotten to the rude point where you're not trying to impress me anymore.
No, I am, but this just...
No, you're not.
Life's too short to be serious all the time and ask serious questions. Let's just lighten up the mood a bit and just go... Policeman pulls you over. Excuse me, sir, can I please have your license? Yeah,
You're so annoying. How have you been going in quarantine?
I've been pretty good. I've been loving life. Like, I've been going to the house every day and working on the house, which has been good. I feel sorry for Sarah because she's looking after Fox every day, and then I go off to the house and I work on the house, and like, you can't leave the house at the moment, really. Like, where are we up to in Australia? You can only go out for essentials and that's it. So it's pretty full on. But I've picked up a new skill.
Ugh.
I love it.
That's and it's come into the bedroom as well.
What do you mean it's coming to the bedroom?
That's all you watch on YouTube at like 1 a.m.
It's so true.
That's what I mean. Not in a dirty way, in an annoying way. Like, it's messing with everything.
So I'm pretty sure I touched on this last episode, and as soon as I was sort of got the sniff that we were going to go into lockdown, I went out and bought a coffee machine, like full on barista style setup, like this nice little coffee machine. And it's got I don't even know what the components are called. It's got the handle thing, you hook it into the machine.
So you're not a real barista.
It's got the frother.
I must admit, he called me and he goes, don't hate me. I bought us a coffee machine.
Yeah.
And I was so annoyed.
She
I
was
was like,
so
no,
annoyed.
like I hate things on the counter. Like I like when it's seamless and beautiful. But I must admit, I actually love it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
How fun is it?
Yeah.
So I bought the coffee machine, and then I also got a grinder for the beans, and it's like a pretty legit grinder. I feel so professional. So now I'm like, I'm just warming myself up. I'm ready to talk about coffee right now. I think I did on my Instagram story. I was like, guys, I bought this coffee machine. I don't know how to use it. Every time I pour the milk in, it's just white and bubbly and gross. Like it tasted all right, but it wasn't like when I go up to the shop and buy one. And I got so much good feedback from everyone. Like everyone was so helpful. To the point where my coffees are like, they're on point. Like they're good. I haven't like mastered the art of cafe.
Oh, don't worry. The amount that
you're latte art, sorry.
The amount that you're Googling or like watching on YouTube, I'm sure you'll be great. Like last night, it was honestly, I'm not even exaggerating. It was 1 a.m. And like I always watch cooking demos and stuff in bed, but I heard this, make sure it's frothed properly, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what the? Is he watching a cooking demo? I'm like, yes, like I love this. Let's like bond together. I look over and he's watching someone pour milk into a coffee. I was like, you get obsessed.
I love it. And it's
fine because it benefits me if you want to make me one. But I'm a control freak, so I like making my own anyway.
Yeah. But this is like a good segue into today's topic. And I know we're going to keep it short and sweet today because we are on a time limit with Middle Foxy. But
Fox is asleep, but I actually think he's awake. I can kind of hear him talking.
Yeah.
So we'll just leave him until he gets annoyed.
Yeah. So we'll get into our first topic for today. And I think one of them was
screen time.
Screen time.
Yeah.
So
how much is too much screen time? Is it okay to just like Netflix and chill for this whole quarantine? Because the thing is, I think if it was just like a week, you could be like, yeah, whatever. Let's just like binge watch a whole season of whatever you're watching on Netflix. I'm obsessed with this thing called Glow Up right now. And what did we just watch? The Next in Fashion.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's kind of like Project Runway, but like a new version of it. It was really good. So I think if it was a week of quarantine, it's like whatever. It's a write-off week. Who cares? But in most countries, it's like a few months. So I'm okay.
You don't even know the end time for the thing, right?
It's like indefinitely.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to put in productive structures that are going to take care of your mental health, your motivation, and screen time is a huge component of that right now. So here's the thing. Okay, when I was thinking about this podcast episode, I was looking up all these articles and it was like how to stay sane in quarantine and like tips to keep motivated and all that stuff. Look, that's all well and good, but I don't want to just repeat the obvious. And I don't want to repeat stuff that's just on Google, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like wake up at the same time and like use an alarm and get changed. Like we kind of touched on that in the last episode, but you guys aren't stupid. Okay. You know, it doesn't mean that you're going to follow those rules, but you're like, you know how to kind of have a good day. If you don't employ those strategies, that's your own fault.
That's true.
But I don't want to just repeat like a happy-go-lucky, woo, let's be motivated.
Because you can just Google that and you can get
Google
that
those articles.
Yeah.
We're just going to be real
and
talk about our experience with screen time instead of just giving you the stats. So we all know that social media can be detrimental to your mental health. Not only do you compare yourself, but you waste your time. It's not actually good for your eyeballs, your brain cells. It's not really that
draining.
Great. So,
and your mental health as well, especially if you're like looking up to people constantly and you comparing.
That's what I mean, comparison. Yeah. Yes. So I'm going to be honest, during quarantine, my screen time has gone up.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Yeah, I'm interested to go into that. You know that app and it tells you?
Yeah.
I'm actually scared to see that.
No, don't do that.
So I think the hardest thing for us is you are a little bit different because you are going to the house and doing renovation, but I'm staying in the apartment. Normally in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I've got to get up at 6:30 because I'm going to the gym or whatever. But our whole family, including Fox, which is so weird, has been sleeping in until like 8:30.
Yeah.
Which is really late for us. So I don't know why Fox is sleeping in. He like knows it's quarantine as well. He's like, YOLO, nothing else to do but sleep. So
even our dog, Abby, is like,
she's always tired. I know. So the weird thing is, because I know that we're like getting up at 8:30, I'm like, well, I've got time to play on my phone at 1 a.m. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like literally every night, Kurt's watching Barista. I'm watching how to make lasagna, even though I don't eat wheat and I don't eat cheese, but I just really like to watch it.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
I have this addiction to learning at the moment. I feel like most of my screen time is YouTube And I'm just constantly looking up new things. Like the other night.
Yeah, true. I'm like the same. I don't really watch a lot of vloggers.
No.
I think because I compare to myself, so I'm like, oh, it's bad for my mental health.
Yeah.
I like watch something that's really mindless to me.
Yeah, you watch a lot of makeup tutorials.
No, I used to. That was a phase.
Oh,
I used to. I watch more cooking right now.
Oh,
like people replicating like tasty videos or something, or I really like that stuff.
I watched a good video the other night that was on flow state. And do you know what flow state is?
No.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay, so it's like kind of this state, and I feel like everyone has this at some point in time. It's just trying to open this up in your brain. So it's, you know, when you get into like
is it like zone, a groove? Yeah.
Yeah, right. When you get into the zone and everything just works. Everything just works in your favor, and you're hyper productive, and you're
it's
super
like when you say
efficient
I'm on
with
a roll.
Time. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it's called flow state. So a lot of like, you know, professional athletes, people who are like putting their life at risk, like think of like those big wave surfers, or what was the guy that did free solo, the guy that climbed the rock without any ropes?
You're asking the wrong girl.
Anyway, they have this ability to get into this state of flow, and it's basically like fight or flight stage, and it's just when you're hyper productive. Anyway, I was watching this video, and I think his name was Danny Grevitz. Check him out on YouTube. It was such a good video, and basically he's like sort of talking through the process of it and how to like enable it so that you can be more productive in your life. And it's, some of them are simple things like we're talking about screen time. Just remove distraction altogether, completely turn off your phone, put it to the side, make sure you have a clean space, sit down into a clean space, or depending on whatever you're doing at that time, just make sure your area is clean, it's decluttered. You could even change up your office slightly. Like, for example, we might switch desks in this room, for example, and it's just all these little things that you can do that will open up your brain and just let you focus in on the task ahead. It was so interesting. But yeah, I was checking out flow state for the whole night after that. And
oh well, at least that's productive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I think there's different elements of screen time. It's like, are you learning something?
Yeah.
I think the most dangerous is Netflix.
Yeah.
YouTube for us is different because we do try to be like educational, or it always ignites some kind of creativity in us, and you know, we are lucky that that's kind of our job. So I know I'm not the norm. I know most people love Netflix and TV, but before quarantine, I didn't even want a TV in our new house. Like, I just really don't like TV because it's actually kind of negative. Like, it's a bad quality that I feel guilty if I ever relax. So if I ever watch Netflix, it ends up negatively affecting me because I'm like, oh, I should have been doing this, or I should have been doing that. And it's definitely something I want to work on, just being way more chill and like letting myself relax. And so before quarantine, I never watched TV ever. Like, I would watch maybe a movie. I wouldn't even. Like, I just don't watch TV.
It was pretty rare.
But
you get into a TV series every now and again.
But this is what I mean. Since quarantine, I'm like, who the heck am I? I'm watching Glow Up. I'm watching Fashion Show. But at the moment, I'm trying to put it on in the background. And this is probably like everyone does this, but this is new to me. I put it on in the background.
You're becoming a mum.
Yeah, legit. I'm like, I put it in the background and I vacuum, or like I clean the house. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm really enjoying cleaning the house right now because it feels really productive.
You know what I found weird about you the other day?
What?
Sarah goes to me the other day. She's like, how do I use... So we have this like sound bar underneath our television. It's Bluetooth accessible.
Oh.
She goes, how do I use... She calls me up while I'm at the job site. She's, how do I use the soundbar? And I'm like, why? Because Sarah never, ever wants to listen to music while she's doing work or anything. Like,
I'm in my flow state.
I get it. I get it if you're video editing, because like you need to shut off from the world.
Yeah, but even in my emails, like I think about it in my head. I'm too focused.
Yeah?
That's my flow state. I can't have music.
So she calls me up and she wants the music to play. Because
I wanted to sing The Lion King to Fox. I put on Disney and my whole day, I'm telling you, if you think this is a joke, I'm serious. After this podcast, if you're feeling a little bit down, flat, unmotivated, and like, woe is me, what is the world? You put on, I'm gonna be a mighty king, so enemies beware.
Nice.
Oh, so good. Literally gives me goosebumps. I put it on yesterday when we were eating breakfast with Fox, and it's just the best.
Lion King soundtrack's like one of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
Amen. Amen.
Okay,
No one's ears was ready for that. So let's just wrap up screen time.
Yeah.
Do you think there's too much screen time? Do you think there's like a golden hour or golden
I feel
minutes?
like we're kind of on that. we're in that higher end of the spectrum where we're like too much screen time right now. I feel like we need to minimize our screen time. Because it's affecting our sleep. Because we're in bed till we're awake at 1 o'clock.
I know.
And every night we need to go to sleep at 10 tonight.
And I think it's a personal thing. So like, just be honest with yourself. If you feel like you're having too much screen time, then you definitely are. Like if you're questioning it, it means you are. So segue into our next point.
Yes.
If you are having too much screen time, it's time to do that list that it's called a don't have time list. For me, the don't have time list is like my favorite list to get to. It's like my mindless list. Do you know what it is actually? It's my procrastination list. So if I have like a big crazy email or like a huge vlog to edit that's overwhelming me, I just won't do it and I'll procrastinate and I'll do something on the list. So my list, for instance, I love reorganizing the pantry. Some people are like shoe people, handbag people, wardrobe people. I used to be a wardrobe person when I lived with my parents at home, but now the kitchen cupboard is mine. So I could spend all day putting things in jars, labeling them, getting it all out, cleaning it, doing the same to my skincare cupboard. The amount of times I've gone through my skincare cupboard. So yeah, my procrastination list is more like reorganizing things, going through the linen cupboard.
I don't get that.
Oh,
you've got doors on the thing. Just close the doors. No one ever sees it. It's all good.
Yeah, funny you say that. You never see it because you never open it. I'm slaving away.
Oh, come on.
I am. I make you dinner. If I don't, you Uber Eats.
No, I cook salmon on the barbecue and meat on the barbecue. Whenever I cook, it is literally a meat on the barbecue and some vegetables.
And then I end up preparing the vegetables because you just stand out on the barbecue and wait for it. No, let's not have this discussion. Not in front of the children.
I'm barbecue master. Thank you very much.
You're not. But
sorry, you weren't done yet?
No, I was going to say, or you can do the Marie Kondo thing. To be honest.
But isn't that the same as organizing? Like, isn't that what she does?
So she you might like it. It's like this craze. To be honest, I watched the Marie Kondo documentary or her series or whatever on Netflix. I actually didn't like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I found it really boring. I think she's amazing. She's really cool. She has a cool aura about her. I don't know. I just found it a little bit boring.
It's not well directed.
No, it was really, I don't know. I don't know why I can't put my finger on it. It was a bit slow for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think because I'm not a TV person anyway, it has to tick all my boxes.
You're used to YouTube where it's just like
quick,
fast.
Quick, yeah.
Get to the point. Blah,
get to the point in 10 minutes. I'm like, a full episode, I don't... Give me the little, what happened last week, and I'll just watch those week to week, you know?
Sarah actually does that.
I do.
She doesn't watch TV series. She just watches the highlights.
Recaps.
So, anything that's reality TV show.
Maths.
Yeah,
Married at
Maths.
First Sight. I don't actually watch it on TV. I just watch the recaps on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, I watched episode 4. I didn't see majority of it, but I know the highlights. So anyway, this Marie Kondo girl, it's like, she goes through her wardrobe and she holds on to a shirt and she says, does it bring you joy and happiness? I think I probably got it a bit wrong, but it's basically that. Does it bring you joy? And if it doesn't, you let it go.
Yeah, but what your issue is,
I have a problem
everything brings you joy.
No, because some things don't.
Have you seen your cupboard in there with all your clothes?
No.
There's a lot of clothes in there. They must bring you a lot of joy.
No, I'm saying that I don't agree with that rule because if you're like, oh, come to the new house and help me paint, I need paint clothes. I need daggy clothes.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
go and do my gardening.
That's true.
And those clothes, they don't bring me joy. They're from Lowe's and they have holes in it, but I keep it for those purposes. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair.
And I just don't agree with that mentality. I don't know. Maybe that's why I have too many clothes.
Maybe you're just a hoarder.
Maybe. But anyway, if you haven't watched the series, I'm the only one who doesn't like it. So watch the Marie Kondo series and she tells you how to fold things and I need to employ the strategies.
Yeah. My version of this tip that we're talking about, the don't have time for list, is usually I want to learn a new skill, like becoming a barista. Don't know why I want to do that. Just thought it'd be fun. It's never anything that's useful. It's always something that's just a random skill that I'm I want to pick up spearfishing. I'm not allowed outside, but I want to do it. I've been YouTubing a lot about it. So
I know.
You know what I mean?
Kurt secretly wants us to go into this crazy lockdown where it's like, what's it called? Doomsday preppers.
I'm ready.
Because he told me he wants to provide for the family and go spearfishing and feed us through fish.
It'll last a week though. That's the thing.
But do you know what? You're so dramatic because you could do that without it being doomsday prepping in real life.
What's the point? I can just go to the shops and...
It's such a Kurt mentality. I just can't even deal. So in my to-do list this week, I want to do a full-on spring clean.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at that aggression. I like it.
I love the idea of minimalism. Can't do it, but I want to like pretend. Go into the spring clean with a mindset of I'm going to become a minimalism. Then I'll just become normal.
That would be terrific. And then I might actually have some space in my cupboard.
No, because I'll refill it.
Oh, okay.
But I also kind of want to be productive. I want to learn more about like graphic design, and we were saying this is the perfect time to learn something.
100%. If you wanted to upskill yourself right now is the time to do it.
Yeah. And now being in quarantine, I've been reading a lot of people's posts and they say one day is melting into the other. And we all want to take care of our mental health. I know that's like a trigger word or a buzzword, but like, let's just not be lighthearted with it. But things that get me down, like for my mental health, if I'm just feeling really unmotivated, it's usually when I'm sitting all day and I'm doing something mindless, like I'm not stimulating my brain, I'm not doing something productive. So like even something like cleaning out my cupboard is going to take care of my mental health. I know it sounds dramatic, but it's so true. So I don't think you have to learn something, but I think it's important to know what kind of person you are. If you're a person at work and you love learning new things and you love being helpful, I think you just need to assess how are you going to keep your mental health in check and be kind to yourself. Yeah. So for instance, my older sister is completely opposite to me in nearly every way. So what makes her happy is people. She's like a social butterfly. So she could happily watch Netflix and be like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't care if I don't be super productive today, but she yearns for connection and people around her. So what she's been doing is, I think like every few days, her group, they normally hang out and have coffee together. They're doing this big group chat and you can have everyone's face in different squares. So she's been doing that. So if you're a person, I know a lot of my friends are social butterflies. They see someone every day. And if you're in quarantine by yourself or just with your parents, I think you don't have to think, oh, I don't get to see my friends for 2 months. It's just about being creative. How are you going to see them?
Like you could do a movie night via that app that you were speaking about and have like a live movie night with everyone.
You could do a book club.
You could.
You could be pen pals. Oh my goodness. Do you remember pen pals? Oh my gosh.
No, I never did it.
Okay, I used to read this magazine. I used to read this magazine called Girlfriend. You know, like Dolly. Dolly or Girlfriend. Yeah. And what they would do, or even like Total Girl when I was little, you would write in and they would post it in their magazine. They're like, hi, Tara is from Victoria and she loves horses. If you'd like to be her pen pal, send it here. And like people would become pen pals. I'm going to write a letter to my friend Tanika.
Are you really?
With stickers. And spray it with perfume. Say, smell here.
So going out to the shops to get stickers.
No, I have them.
You've already got them.
I have arts and crafts drawer.
Well, I was going to say, is that an essential need for you?
Stickers?
Yeah.
You're allowed out once to get stickers, cookie cutters, and more bananas.
Yeah, bananas, of course.
Duh.
Of course. Okay, so what happens if you're one of those people that like, I know we've done podcasts in the past on like career and finding like that point of passion. A lot of questions we get asked whenever we do a podcast like that is like, how do I find that passion or something that ignites something in me that wants me to start learning? How do I find that? Do you have any tips around finding that?
So I actually talked to one of my friends who his normal job is like face-to-face. So he's essentially lost his job at the moment. So we were getting coffee. We were like really far apart. We ran into each other, not physically, but you know what I mean. So we ran into each other and he was like, I need to make some passive income. Should I do an ebook like you? This. And I'm like, look, passive income is great. You know, that's like a bonus. But when it comes to like starting a business, if you want longevity in it, I think I've said this before. If you go into it with the mentality of I want to make money, that's just like a recipe for disaster.
100%.
It like that loses its fun factor. Your audience will see through that.
Yeah, 100%.
Your passion is not there. You're not going to come out with the right product. I think the hardest thing, to be honest, is a lot of these products or a lot of these companies or movements happen because you've accidentally found a gap in the market or something that doesn't exist.
Or something that you're purely passionate about.
Yeah, like for instance, Kurt is so passionate about photography and videography, like too passionate that like, you know, if you get him on a roll, if you ask a question, hey, like what aperture should I be on or whatever, you just like, you love when people ask you that.
I do.
You know, or like, hey man, if I want to light this up, how should I light it? Kurt just like exudes this passion and could talk about it forever. And he's like, oh, this makes me want to sit down and film a video and explain it. I'm like, that right there. That is the right attitude towards what you should be doing.
And it's the same for you too. Like if someone asked you about health, you're so well researched and you just absolutely love it to bits that you could just do exactly the same and just tell them everything that.
And so like, I guess for me, an example for that is people are like, why don't you by yourself without YFox? Why don't you start a baby company where you make baby clothes? I'm like, okay, I could totally make money from that, but I don't want to. Like, it's not my passion. It would fail. It would fail because I'm telling you, there is so much hard work that goes into the back end of business, whether it's like 100%. Being innovative and getting staff and being consistent with your customer service, everything. You need to love it, love your brand, love your product, and be so enthusiastic and keep up with the market. I don't care enough about baby's clothes, like whatever.
And that's the reason why you're so successful as well, is because every single product or idea or everything that you do, you put your heart and soul into it.
It's because I want it. I'm like, oh, this doesnn't exist.
Exactly.
Or this exists, but I could make it so much more effective and so much better, and it applies to everyone. You know, like there was these random natural deodorants on the market, and like I just didn't feel like they worked or they didn't smell that good. But I was like, I love the idea of a natural deodorant because I did all this research into PCOS and hormone imbalance and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, I want one for myself. Like I want to make it for myself. So when we made it, I got to test it for like 9 months, and then releasing it to the public, I was just so passionate and I was so excited, and people felt that, you know, people knew it came from a real place. I didn't do it because I'm like, how do I make money? I was like, I want to deodorant.
Same with your ebook, same with everything that you do. It comes down to like being in love with that process and the project itself. So I guess taking a step back a bit.
Yeah, to everyone else.
How do we find that passion? What do you do? I think personally, the best thing that you could do is like sit down on a clear desk, get into that flow state, sit down on a clear desk, get a notepad and just jot down a list of things in no order whatsoever. Just anything that comes to your head first. What do you like in life? Do you like your friends?
Anything.
Do you like going to church?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you like making movies? Do you like taking photos? Do you like training? Do you like eating healthy?
It's like Tals. It's like my little sister. Like,
do you like drawing?
She was a nurse, right? She was a nurse, and she's like, that's my job. She's like, I love art, but it's not a job. I'm like, well, let's make it a job. You know, so she did the same kind of thing. She sat down. She was like, well, I'm a nurse and a barista, and that's my job. I love painting. I love creativity. I love design, blah, blah, blah. Now she's a graphic designer.
It makes sense, doesn't it? Right.
And I know this is kind of like a rose-colored glasses perspective or like view on it, but it's so true. Like, I feel like everyone looks at other people with fun jobs and they're like, oh, I wish I could do that. I'm like, you can. I swear you can. If you're passionate enough and you're consistent enough, right now in quarantine, when do you have time?
Especially if you live in
home?
Australia, you're getting, like, if you've lost your job and you're living in Australia, you're so lucky. Right now, the government's...
You've got nothing to lose, cuz.
Yeah, the government's going to, fund majority of the country $700 a week or something like that.
Yeah, like... But yeah,
to go into essentials. So basically, you're getting paid right now to work on yourself. Like, think of it that way.
Yeah, I don't want to get into politics.
I know. But I'm pretty sure it's something along those lines. Like, the government's forking up a lot of cash to help out the economy.
But it's
right
only
now.
like if you've been with that company for over a year.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is. But now's the perfect time to write that list out. And then from that list, I haven't finished where we were at before. So once you've like written out a massive list of things, then put them into order. And then off that, branch off of that and be like, all right, what are career paths from there? Or what are just ways that I can learn how to be better in that area? Now's the time to do it.
So what do you want to do in terms of work then? If you're going to sit down and write your list, what would you do?
What would I do?
In terms of work, I know you want to do like barista, and you want to learn how to put your bag together.
That's just more for fun. For me,
short and sweet.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it. For me this year, I want to. I've really been stepping up my my agency and our production level. I want to take on bigger and better projects. So for me, it's been learning from some of the top directors from around the world about, you know, how they create cinematic, I hate that word cinematic, but cinematic movies and like videos and what goes in on the back end in producing a $1 million commercial and things like that. So that to me is what I'm passionate about and I'm moving towards. What about you?
It sounds kind of boring, but I'm trying to focus and learn about how to be more productive with a team of people and how to delegate more, because I'm working on some really big things. Like I've said before, my cooking project is massive. Without boring you, it requires a team. Sure. Therefore, I'm the boss. Therefore, I need to delegate because people's time is money, and I need to make sure everyone is.
You're a good boss, by the way.
Thanks. I try to be nice.
We work together on a lot of this stuff that says he's working on at the moment. And she's pretty good. She looks after her employees.
I try to be nice and fun and make sure everyone is working on something they enjoy. But that's the hard thing. It's like if someone is working for you that day and they're like, what am I doing? I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to make it really seamless, and I don't want to text people. I want it to be all like programmed and structured. And anyway, I know that's really boring.
No, but this is interesting. Talk about it.
It's so weird though, because do you know what's funny? I know I bring everything back to my childhood, but like it's just so weird because I used to play a game with my little sister that I was the boss of a company, and we would have like the fake unplugged keyboard, you would like type on the fake keyboard, and I would like, delegate jobs. And it's so funny now. I always have flashbacks to being in my lounge room with my little sister pretending to be her boss. I'm like, it's so weird.
We've been researching a lot around like productivity tools and like apps and project management tools.
Delegate people and far out. It's just like a whole new world.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah. And I think that's the funny point that you say there. Like every single person who now is, running a big corporation or a big company, they've all started where we've started, just from the bottom, and worked their way up the ladder and have worked it out along the way. And that's why we've been talking so much about this topic.
I just want everyone
upskilling yourself.
Yeah, and without being like, oh my gosh, like be like me. I was so unhappy and so unfulfilled before. I know not everyone can be a YouTuber. It's a hard game. I totally get it. Believe me, I get it. But I don't mean just like, become a YouTuber and do all this stuff. I just mean like when I was working in retail, or even when I was at uni doing primary education, I just knew it wasn't right for me, and I just felt so unfulfilled. And every day I would come home and I wasn't inspired, and it's different for everyone. Like I know, like that guy that you were talking about, and he works at Bunnings and he loves his job.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing. You don't need to have a crazy cool job. Like you could literally work at Bunnings and be like, I love this.
Yeah,
it's so unique to everyone.
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be a career thing. Like you could just upskill yourself in an area that you're just like, I just want to learn in that area.
Be a barista and learn cool frothy art.
Yeah.
I just think now's the time to take care of your mental health, and do something that makes you happy. Yeah. So like for me right now, I'm actually loving home workouts. It's so like, I've always liked moving my body and stuff.
I think you're liking it because you have to think creatively about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
you're thinking outside the box around fitness training and like the traditional way of going to the gym and lifting heavy weights. And not that you do that anyway, but you know what I mean? Like that mentality you've changed.
Do you know also, I think I like it because when you go to the gym, sometimes I'm like, oh, well, I've just like put Fox down for a nap and Kurt's watching him and I'm at the gym. I feel pressure to like use the equipment. I'm like, well, I'm here. I may as well use the rower. I may as well use the ski yoke. I may as well use some weights. It's kind of nice because my favorite is body weight. My favorite is my ebook workouts and Pilates. So now that I'm literally down in the garage with a mat, I'm like, this is the best. And like, you just have to be creative of how to get your heart rate up. Like, I don't want to plug myself again, but I know last episode we said I was doing my 8-week challenge with you guys. I did a live stream.
That was so cool.
It was so cool. And so I went down to the garage, I put the phone there, and I worked out real time with everyone live, and people were doing it with me. Oh, like it gives me goosebumps. It was so fun. It was like having friends work out with me from around the world.
We should do it again, but we should have someone else sitting there, like reading the comments to you as you're doing it.
You could do that. You could. We could at his next nap. You could come down with me because I got training power to do today.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that because I feel like a lot of people would probably be like messaging you and you wouldn't be able to respond to it.
They are. They're like, my legs are burning. What should I do? Like, can I pause? And I can't read it because my legs are burning.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if you want to watch my lives, I'm Sarah's_day on Instagram. I swear I'm not trying to plug myself. It was so
That's cool.
Cool. So today I've got one to do. But you came upstairs really sweaty last night.
Yeah, I've been having some good workouts down the gym. I think I'm
down
a person.
in the gym.
Yeah, down.
The
Sorry.
garage.
Yeah. What did I call it? Dirty Beats gym.
Oh, filthy. Filthy
beat. You're only allowed to play Dirty Beats down there.
Filthy.
Otherwise, you're not welcome.
Yeah.
Actually, you're not welcome anyway because we're only allowed one person in our house. So, get stuffed. But I think I
think it's good for you.
I just love training completely by myself with no one else around, no distraction. Getting into flow state. I just keep going back to flow state.
But as well, I think it's good because normally like you drive to the gym, you have small talk with someone, you have your pre-workout, you work out, you talk to Brenton, then you drive home and I call you and I go, Kurt, where are you? Like, I need help with Fox. I need to put him in the bath. And it's like flustery. But because you're just going downstairs, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like we're like working better and functioning better.
I mean, I did train last night at 9 o'clock when everything was shut. And then I went for a run around the streets. It was like 10 o'clock. I did a run after my workout. It was a ghost town. Like Cronulla at night, there's usually people like at 10 o'clock. There'll be people walking along the Esplanade coming home from work. Like there's people parked along the coastline, like looking at the ocean,
having picnics, whatever,
doing whatever. And at night time as well, there was nothing.
It's a bit scary.
It was so weird.
I was saying to Kurt last night, I felt a bit eerie. Like even going up and getting my groceries, like we said, we try to go out once a day if we have to. We just get our groceries or pick up whatever we need to pick up, and then we stay inside the rest of the day. We're taking the isolation rules really seriously. But I went out and I had to get more sun cream for Fox and like nappy rash cream and whatever from the health food store. And I was walking through the mall and I was a bit scared.
Yeah.
And Kurt was saying, they said on the news, like especially if you're a female, just be careful. And I didn't even think about that. I was like fully like.
Because there's less people around. Yeah. Like you never know.
And I always walk through like the alleyways and the back ways and like it's a bit scary, isn't it? Stay home.
Yeah,
sorry to put a somber vibe.
Why did you do that?
No, I'm just saying like, I'm just thinking about like even the younger girls who maybe didn't think about it and they're going out to get their takeaway smoothie bowl.
Just be cautious.
Just be cautious.
Yeah,
like it's
100%.
Yeah,
definitely.
there's no one around. But
it's a weird time in the world right now. It's so weird.
Yeah, but to be honest, like I guess to wrap up our isolation life right now, like I feel pretty good. Like I think the things we need to work on is screen time. Do you know what's funny? One last thing.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the radio. I do listen to the radio. And people were saying how like couples are at each other. And one of my friends messaged me and was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to kill my husband. Like we've never spent so much time together. Oh, I'm like, I didn't even think about that.
Welcome to our life.
So I think like I think we're probably a little bit out of touch with how normal relationships are going in quarantine because we are always together.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
we're used to this.
We work from home. We work together. But can you imagine if you normally work in an office and I'm normally a teacher, we're both working from home?
Let's talk about that right now,
That'll
actually.
be hard.
I'm sorry we're going to drag this podcast on a little bit longer, but let's talk relationship right now in isolation because I feel like we haven't even spoken about that just because we're used to working.
I know, it just came to me because I was
good.
listening to it on the radio and they had these people call up and say like, oh my goodness, my husband usually leaves at 5 a.m. Sounded like I was crying there. Sorry, I had a bit of a testy voice. Yeah. My husband leaves at 5 a.m. And so this is funny because this is the kind of mother I would be, okay? Yeah. So this girl rings up and she's like, my husband leaves at 5 a.m. And he doesn't come home till 7. I usually resent him when he comes home because I'm with the kids all day and the house is messy and I have to cook dinner. And then he comes home and I'm like, I wish you were at home. And now that he is at home, she's like, oh no, I had the good life. Like I want him to be out where at each other's throats. And now he's at home and he feels out of place because he doesn't know what to do because he's not in my routine. I'm like, wow, that's so funny that I didn't even think about that because we're always together.
Here's my general thought process right now.
Oh, I'm about to get a dig. I can feel it. I can feel it. I feel it brewing in the air.
For all the guys out there who listen in and are listening in, you are never right. You are never, ever going to be right.
I hate this classic.
No, this is true. This is true. I've got a few friends.
You sound like my dad.
You got a few friends. No,
it.
it's not that thought process. It's not that thought process.
You're never right because you're dumb.
We are. And that's bloop.
I'm
Shut
kidding,
up.
by the way. Don't hate me.
No, but like,
But you aren't.
The thing is, right? Like, and this is just me personally. I'm a very chill person. Like, if there's washing up next to the thing, I'll be like, oh, that's okay. I'll do that later. Where Sarah needs to have that stuff done there and then.
If I see mess, I clean it up.
And that's okay. But then she'll be like, clean it up, like she's flustered. The worst thing you can do is be like, it's okay. I'll do it later.
Oh. Hey, Sarah.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Oh, I know how to breathe. You do. I say, Kurt, I'm trying.
Hey, I'm touching on my own faults right now as well. Okay, like I know that I shouldn't do that.
Guess what's still out on the porch? The esky that's been out there for 2 months. Still waiting. But do you know what? Little things. Like, I don't want this. Oh, I'm going to get sweaty. I already
am sweaty, so it's okay.
I don't want this to turn into an argument. I really don't. But just like, if you can relate, if you're a girl and you live with a messy guy or vice versa, which I highly doubt. But Kurt has these protein bars every day. Okay, every day. And I think, he thinks that the rubbish from the protein bar just magically disappears, or you think you put it in the bin. Every day. Every day I walk past the kitchen bench, I grab it off the kitchen bench and I put it in the bin. You go to the cupboard, you open up the protein bar, you eat it and you put the package on the kitchen bench.
Can I justify myself right now?
Who are you putting it there for?
You. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry I do that.
Your dirty socks. You leave your dirty socks in Fox's play area.
No.
Yes,
I leave them on top of my shoes. Fox grabs them and chews on them.
So,
it's not my fault. Not my fault.
So,
he should be smart enough to know that they are stinky socks and he shouldn't touch them.
Put them in the laundry.
Stupid babies.
Bad baby.
Okay, look, I don't know if this is just me or this is guys in general.
My dad does it too.
I'm a seagull.
No, it's a magpie.
No.
Oh.
Seagull or magpie? I don't know.
What are you saying?
I like bright, shiny things.
I think it's a magpie.
Yeah, okay, I'm a magpie. Whatever. I eat my protein bar, I put it down the bench for like 2 seconds. Ooh, there's Fox playing with the rocks. Go over, stop him from doing that, and then go, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, I need to go do this. And I go off and do the next thing. And I forget about it. I'm sorry. It's just in my nature.
The thing that, it's annoying in terms of like keeping the apartment clean, but do you know what annoys me more about your magpie-ness?
What?
When I'm trying to be, I try to be a 50s housewife. I actually get a lot of flack for it because people are like, independent woman. I'm like, I'm still independent. I'm still a boss.
But you like cooking.
I know. So I'm saying, I like being a 1950s housewife. I like it. I don't want to do all the washing. Like we can.
Hey, I did the washing.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I love feeding you. It's no secret. I've said it before. I show my love through food. Mama says I should have been Greek or something. Yeah, I swear. I'm like, I'm not Australian.
Eat, boy, eat.
Wrong. Yes. So I got along with all the Greek mums at my school. They loved me. So if you're like on your computer flustered, I'm like, oh, can I make you lunch? And you're like, yes, that would be amazing. I haven't eaten all day. I'm like, got you, bae. We don't call each other that.
No,
so
don't ever say
I go to the kitchen. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I love impressing you or like making you happy. I'm like, what does he love? He loves chocolate. I'm going to make him a choc smoothie with protein in it and some sesame seeds on top because you love sesame seeds. And I like think about you. I slave away and I say, Kurt, your bowl's out here. Do you want me to bring it in? You go, no. I'll come out. And you'll come out and you'll see it and you'll start talking to me and you'll talk about, I'm going to do this cool mountain bike thing. And you go, actually, I just need to quickly go and check that because I think the tire's flat. Then you go down there and you check the tire's flat and you see that it's flat. And then you look up and you go, I need to redo that. And then you redo the top of the roof and you never eat my protein bowl. It happens all the time.
I'm sorry.
All the time. I cook for you. I do beautiful things for you. And you go, shiny thing. And you don't even eat it.
I'm sorry.
You're very scat. Anyway.
But one more point about relationship.
No one wants to hear us anymore.
No, this is actually a good point. You need to understand when you're in an argument how each person resolves that argument. So for example, Sarah has a very different way to me. Sarah doesn't want to talk to me. She's like, if she's angry with me, don't talk me, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
can like sneak a little joke in there and lighten some mood. There you go. She gets that smile. If you're watching the YouTube video, you need to see it. She has to smile like this, and then it's all good. And then it's all good.
You're actually annoying. And then you go, come here, baby, give me a cuddle,
Yeah.
Kiss me. Life's too short.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you need to start like understanding how when to do a joke like that and lighten up the mood, or when to actually give your partner space or talk through it. Like I like to talk through things with Sarah. Sarah hates talking through it. So sometimes I'm like, no, I'm right. Let's talk through this thing, because you'll hold on to it and you'll bring it up 3 months later. Or I need to be like, okay, Sarah's actually mad. I need to step away and just let her breathe for a bit. Stew on it.
This is the time to learn, people, now that you're stuck in your apartment together.
Maybe sleep on the couch for the night or something. And then come back in the morning, we'll be besties again.
No. But I guess now's the time to like learn with your partner and be patient, because I feel like you're both going to annoy each other.
100%.
You're probably going to be annoying. Me too.
Like no relationship is I don't care who you are. Your relationship is not perfect in no way, shape or form.
Do you know what? Saying that, that's why at the end of one of my last renovation episodes, I kept in like a little fight Kurt and I had. Yeah. Like he basically, if you didn't watch it, he said that he worked harder than me, and I got really offended and I got upset. Let's not get into it.
No, but here's another thing. Here's another thing that the magpie does.
Can I just finish the story?
Sometimes I say things that just come out of my mouth. I don't mean them to be offensive.
No,
they just come out of my mouth.
Yeah. Do you know what?
I don't think about it.
Yeah. And I gave you the benefit of the doubt. And I said, did you not mean that? You said, no, I meant it. It's on camera. Like I have the raw footage.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I kept in that little fight just to show everyone like renovating's hard with your significant other. Yeah. And we're having arguments and people are like, why are you shaming Kurt online? I'm like, no, I'm literally just trying to be like, everyone thinks we have the perfect relationship and we don't. I'm like, we argue all the time. Yeah. And so I kept it in and I'm like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Thanks for having my back, everyone, though. Like, I really need it. I need the support at this time. It's really hard times right now. Yeah, I deserve that. Anyway, on that note, I think we need to wrap up.
Yeah, I feel like, look, let's be honest. I had all this stuff prepared and we like found this article of this. Should I talk about the astronaut?
Oh, yeah, the astronaut. Okay, no, that's actually really interesting.
This is the end.
Yeah.
The finale. So we found this article and it's about this astronaut that lived in space by himself in isolation for a whole year, and he came back down and wrote his guide to isolation and how to
just say, no amount of money that you could ever pay me would I ever want to do that.
Not only would I not want to go to space, live alone in like a space compartment.
You're in a jail cell. Why would you want to do that?
Or those people who are like paying to go to space. Yeah. Like I don't even want to fly to Bali. I'm scared.
I get it. It's like a crazy experience, but I only want to go out for a day and come back.
I wouldn't. No way. I wouldn't even want to do that. Okay, so this astronaut spent a year in space, and here are his top tips to isolation sourced from the New York Times. Okay, so he said, obviously, like we said in the last episode, is follow a schedule. So he would wake up, write a list, and follow a schedule. Even though he only had like a few things to do up there, he would like make a routine for the day.
What was his name?
Good question. Don't know. I've only got my notes here.
Damn,
Sorry.
Okay.
He said,
going to give him a nickname. That's why.
Okay. Strawdy.
Yeah.
Astronaut Strawdy.
Oh, okay, Strawdy.
So Strawdy said,
Strawdays.
This is a good one for people who are overachievers and people like me who feel guilty for watching Netflix. He said, pace yourself. Don't let work overtake your entire day just because you're working from home. So that's the hard thing. Like if you are working from home, if you normally work at a bank and you're doing all of your admin stuff from home, only because let's say you didn't get changed and you are in your PJs and you're sitting on your lounge doing work, doesn't mean you have to work more hours. No. I was listening to something really interesting. It was a podcast. It was the other day. It was a podcast and they said even set yourself tasks for the day like you would at work. If you achieve those tasks at 2 p.m., that's okay. Then you have the rest of the day to do your fun tasks, like, clean out your pantry, whatever. Don't feel guilty because you're working from home. If you achieve what you would normally achieve at work, then that's fine.
And another good tip as well, like when I used to work in agency life, I would probably work in like 1 hour blocks, and then I'd probably have like a 5-minute like chat with someone or something. Like you're not 100% productive when you're in the office anyway. Like you're having, like, it's just natural to be super productive for an hour and then be
I've never worked in an office.
Oh, I
don't
need
know.
to, like, you have a chat with someone and it sort of refreshes the brain. You're like, oh crap, I need to go back to what I'm doing. So then you do another hour or whatever. So yeah, it's okay to break up your workflow. I think that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then a few other ones I can pretty much just list off. He said, go outside, which is funny. He went on his face. He said, get a hobby, something like books, craft, guitar. Use this as unplugged time and digital detox. You have to have digital detox every single day. He said, keep a journal, write down things you are grateful for. That was another tip we had. Have a gratitude journal. Oh, and then he said, like I mentioned with my older sister doing FaceTime, he said, take time to connect. Even though you don't have face-to-face interaction, it doesn't mean you can't FaceTime. Yeah. So true. I've been FaceTiming my parents every single day, especially with Fox. And then a really important one for our situation right now, he said he listened to the experts and didn't rely on social media for the updates of what was happening on Earth. So he didn't like go on Facebook and say like, oh, ScoMo is like this or Trump is this. He would like just look at like the New York Times or whatever. Yeah, just wait for those proper resources to come out. There's a lot of that was just a fun little article. But like I said,
that's from like the expert of isolation right there. That's a good article. I love that.
Do you know what would be fun? Yeah. To hear from like a jailed person who's in maximum security isolation. They all get shredded. They all just do chin-ups. Or go crazy.
But what else do you do? Anyway.
I just thought it'd be fun. So if you're in isolation right now and you're listening, hit us up. I'm kidding. Anyway, guys, like I said, this was a really random podcast, but I just wanted to keep it lighthearted and more personal because they're the podcasts I like to listen to. Like tips and tricks are great, but I'm just like, tell me the real. Tell me what you're really going through right now. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
I have a good idea.
What?
Right now, if you're listening to this, go to our Instagram, the.healthcode, and comment on our latest photo something that you've learnt about your partner or the person you're quarantining with that you didn't know before.
Ooh,
so
that's
like,
juicy.
Did you not realize how messy they were? Did you not realize
that they flick their boogers in the living room?
Exactly. This is fun. And then we can read out our favorite in the next episode.
Oh, I love that. Let's do that.
Okay, so if you didn't hear, go to the most recent picture.
Yeah.
Comment something that you've learned about your partner, whoever, it might even be your dad if you're living with your dad or your sister, whatever. And we'll read out the best in the next episode.
I love that. Bring out the juicy goss, everyone.
Yeah, to be brutal. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed listening to part 2 of isolation. And if you ever want us to talk about something specific, just hit us up on Instagram.
Flick us a message. If you ever have any questions as well, message us on Instagram. It's easy for us to like do a little voice recording back to you. Sometimes I jump on there and I'll do those voice recordings back to people. So yeah, if you ever got questions, guys, we're watching, we're reading.
The.healthcode on Instagram. I'm Sarah's Day. I'm Sarah's_day on Instagram and Sarah's Day on YouTube.
And I'm KJ Tills on Instagram and YouTube.
And on YouTube, where
The Health Code.
Yeah.
There's actually, can I address this?
Yes.
Okay.
Please
There is another The Health Code podcast or The Health Code out there who's completely ripped off our content. So don't go to that one. Go to the one with the videos on it because that's actually us.
Yeah, so the one with our face in the video, that's us.
Yeah.
If it's just like the picture, we don't know who that is. That's
so I'm going to shut that one down ASAP. So anyway, I just thought I'd update you guys on that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.